First thing, looking at this, where did everything go? We snap at 90. Okay, I like that we snap. Beautiful. Round of applause for that one. And then you can, interesting, there's now an ungroup to layers. Y'all, look how smooth that offset transition is. Love it. Round of applause for that one. Hello, my crafty friends, and welcome back to the Baker's Gonna Learn YouTube channel. Now, today's video, completely different than what you are used to seeing because we have caught word that Cricut has updated Design Space and had 55 different fixes that they supposedly said they were going to fix. Now, if you all have been in Design Space recently, if you've been at one of our lives, you know that there have been some issues with connectivity, with actual Design Space, some other things. But today, I'm going to be reading this article with you and kind of walking you through this. And we're going to hop over into Design Space and we're going to actually see the updates that they made. I'm going to update my Design Space in real time with you guys. And you know, if you've been on a live with me, that I don't like change and I don't like to update things. But for you guys, we're going to do this and we're going to do it all together. So let's go ahead and start looking at this article that Cricut has shared and talking about all of the things that they have fixed within Design Space and see if these are things that we have had issues with. So here is the article that you can read here. This update did come on 1/21, so it looks like that was last week. We are just now seeing this, but we wanted to bring you all the updates. So reading down through here, this update adds a new style in the Create AI panel. Interesting, because I don't feel like I have played around with the Create AI panel. So when you choose a print and cut style in Create AI, the image generated will be in full color and will insert onto your canvas as a full color image. That was interesting. Definitely one we're going to have to play around with. New in-app messages for users. Personally, I've never even used in-app messaging. I mean, I use the app on my computer, but not really sure. I'm sure this is going to be great, especially for new users who are learning how to use this software. I don't think necessarily if you are a seasoned Cricut user that this update is going to be huge for you. Maybe it will, maybe it won't, but some fixed field issues. So in this release, it says issues causing cuttable area text misplaced. I will also link this article down below for you all to read over as well. I'm not going to go through every single thing and read this, but I do want to kind of skim through it and see if there are things that I have had issues with as well. With the insert card project flow, I've not made a card here recently, so I don't do the insert card project flow a lot. Text sizing issue. Upon selecting entire number with the mouse, the cursor jumps intermittently, resulting in numbers getting added randomly. I have seen that. So that's a good fix. I'm glad that they've done that. Over the last 6 weeks, it says they fixed 55 software defects, including the following priority field issues and reliability concerns. So I would assume that this has come from people messaging in, telling them, hey, we've been having issues. Here's what we've seen. And 55 is a big number. So kudos to Cricut for making those changes, listening to its users and making those adjustments. I will say this is one that I know we have all had issues with. Number 3, infinite spinner on uploading large HEIC image files has been fixed. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. I'm so glad that now I can take my images. If you are an iPhone user, iPhone photos are actually downloaded, or when you send them to someone, they are an HEIC file type versus a PNG or a JPEG. Now I can easily upload or send photos from my phone to Design Space and not get that infinite spinner or have to go back and change an HEIC photo into like a PNG or a JPEG. So I am super, super happy about that. Looks like fix an issue causing machine picker to be empty. I've not had the machine picker to be empty before, but I have had issues with connectivity with my machines. I'm going to keep reading and see if that is something that's on here because I'm hoping that it does. I don't know about you all, but I have had a lot of connectivity issues with Design Space and our machine. Even when we have it connected with the wire, it's like we have to go back and forth with Bluetooth. I don't know, but I really hope it's being fixed. So going on down, causing the right panel live preview not to change upon opening a saved project. Okay. Pin/cut alignment in Design Space for templates. I've not seen that one myself. That looks like it's for maybe like their actual artist uploads. Project layout and monogram icon options missing. Personally, not seen that one with my own eyes. Let me just say, I'm not saying that these things, let me make it very clear. I'm not saying these things have not been an issue. I have not seen them with my own eyes, but I'm glad that they are fixed. Let's see. Design area to not support size. Incorrect mirroring behavior to occur for attached images on the mat. I have seen that. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. I'm so glad that that's fixed. Bounding box and cursor position to be wrong upon editing ungrouped lines. Yeah, I've seen that one too. Thank goodness. An issue on Mac causing offline badge to not appear when connected to the internet. It says it, and then closing application to close until the internet is turned on. We have internet constantly here at our office. We do have Macs. I've not seen it like go back and forth and shut off. So once again, not saying it's not, but I'm glad that it's fixed. I'm going to keep reading. Hold please. Okay. Hold the front door. Fix an issue causing slice function to not work with PNG images on the canvas that have a pattern applied. So I don't know about you. I'm assuming that this is a PNG image that they have applied a pattern to from, because you can do that in Design Space, and then you couldn't slice. I'm assuming it thought it was two separate layers. So that is fixed. That's a really good fix. But fixed infinite connection spinner on the make page. I know that you all have seen this issue. I know that I have had this issue. But when we go to make it, it's just a constant spin, 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 spin. That has been fixed. That's great. Let's keep reading because I want to. Okay, here it is. Fixed an issue causing the connection troubleshooting option to show even when the same machine connection is changed from USB to Bluetooth or vice versa. We were having so many issues with this. I'm so glad it's fixed. It also says fix an issue with USB connected machines being unable to reconnect to Design Space if powered on after Design Space is open. We've even had that on lives before where we've had Design Space open. We had to cycle through the machine. It wasn't connecting. We had to refresh Design Space. These are all things that we have been saying that have been issues. And I'm so glad that Cricut is listening and fixing. And I think that is a very good sign of a healthy company when they listen to their people and fix what needs to be done. So with all of that being said, once again, if you want to read over everything that you see here in this article, please feel free. I'm going to leave that in the description down below. You can go ahead and grab that. So let's hop over to Design Space. And now that we are here, I do need to update Design Space. And how you're going to do that is if you come up here to the top right corner where your account is, go to settings. On this first general right here where it says about Design Space, it's showing me that I have 9.43, and the newest one that we can see here is 9.53. So we're going to update, and we'll be right back as soon as we update, and we'll kind of go through everything you need to know and where the new things are now located, my thoughts and opinions on it after we get up. Okay, y'all, we have updated Design Space, so let's go ahead and go through this, see where everything is at, take a little tour of the new updated Design Space, and see what we think. So here you can see standard home page here. You have some projects, some images, things you've bookmarked. Looks like Cricut. What is this? DTF transfer. Is Cricut trying to dip their toe into the DTF transfer world? This is an interesting, especially since it's in beta. This is an interesting piece to kind of maybe keep your eye on. Not saying anything. I just feel like before a new machine comes out, they have to have the software to go with it. So we've made speculations before about lasers and Cricut, and we were wrong. Nothing ever come out. So once again, this is just speculation, but this is interesting to me that I see DTF transfer in the beta version here. Anyway, we're just going to go to a blank canvas. And now that we have a blank canvas, one thing that Design Space has started doing is even when you upload an image, like it gives you suggestions or images here on the left. I mean, it's fine. I don't like to always have to collapse that. So yeah, first thing, looking at this, where did everything go? A little bit confused. We have nothing up here on the top. We do only have things over here on the left, but we don't have anything on our canvas. So let's just give it a minute. We can still cycle through our grids up here. Praise, love that. I always like to keep a grid on personally, unless I'm working with lots of white layers, then sometimes I'll turn it off, but we're going to keep it on our grid. So let's go ahead and upload an image. So I'm just going to go to upload. We'll just use maybe some images that we have. So I'm going to do a PNG and an SVG. So let's add this one to our canvas real quick. Once again, you see how this pops up suggestions. I personally am just a personal preference, guys. I'm not a huge fan. Okay. Bounding box looks completely different to me. I actually don't mind it at all. I love that the sizing is here in green. It seems to stand out a lot more to me, like to my eye. So I can see that a lot better. We now have things up here at this top bar, like our top work panel. So I do enjoy that. Okay, so here is duplicate and delete really easy on your bounding box as well. Instead of having, it also lives up here on your layers panel. So they do have that on the bottom of the bounding box now. I do enjoy that. Okay, so you can still toggle and move here and here. It does snap. Do we snap at a quarter? Okay, we snap at 45. We snap at 90. Okay, I like that we snap. Beautiful. Round of applause for that one. Your operations is now going to live up here at the top. So this is a print and cut. You can change your operations here. It's no longer going to say operations. Okay, this is original artwork pattern. And now I know you've been able to do that before. Okay, so here is what they were saying, how you can take a PNG with a pattern that has been added like this, and you can slice that now, whereas before they were having issues. So I'm just going to go back to original artwork and we're just going to restore that. But you can change your print type, original artwork color. Oh, it just makes it one solid color. Beautiful. Okay. Cool. So that's where that is going to be found. Now, I will say when you click off of anything and nothing on your layers panel is selected, this all up here goes away, which Design Space right now is a little bit shrinking because I'm trying to film this video, so there's not as much room. But all of that goes away based on what you select. So I'm going to assume, let's just go ahead and add a text box, that's going to change every time we change something. So we'll just type in name. Okay, and here is where, oh, it just did something. It said my text would wrap. But here is where switch to inline text. To switch to inline text, click alignment. Okay, so let's go to, well, where is alignment? Okay, edit, alignment. Okay, wrap is on. Cool. So that's where a lot of that is going to live. Okay, so it was telling me wrap was on. If I didn't want to have wrap, go to alignment. I couldn't find alignment, but if you go to this edit tool, you can see here that we do have all of our things still kind of laid out with our size, our position, arrangement here. But y'all, one thing, if you don't learn, you need to learn your shortcut keys for arrangement if you want to become a very well-seasoned Cricut Design Space user. It just makes it so much easier. So learn those shortcut keys. That way you're not having to click edit and go to this arrange all the time. Anyway, I digress. Rotate, flip. You can also access font tools from edit, but you can quick access the fonts from your screen here. So here is your font and your bold, italic, all of that can be chosen here. So let's just go to one of our system fonts and change our font type. here to an MGL font. We're going to go back to edit. Here's where you can find anchor to center, top, bottom, alignment. You can turn wrap on or off. Here it is off. Here wrap is on, meaning once I hit this side, it's going to wrap down to the bottom. If wrap is off, it's just going to keep going in a straight line. You can also work on letter spacing. This is where you're going to find letter spacing and line spacing. And then you can, interesting, there's now an ungroup to layers. Now it is grayed out because this does not come in multiple layers, but you can ungroup to layers. I do like that. So these do still have ungrouped to letters and ungrouped to lines. I don't have multiple lines on this, so it's just giving me ungrouped to letters. And then this is also where you're going to find your curved text. Now, if you are curious, we'll make this larger. I will say this. I'm not a huge fan of how small this left hand kind of toolbar comes in, and you can't minimize your layers panel. So it's like it's encroaching on my area here, and I don't have as much like design workspace. I don't really know how I feel about that yet. Now, once again, this is all changed. This does not mean that I won't like it once I get used to it, but I'm not used to it just yet, which is why right now it just doesn't feel right to me. So when we come down here and look at our effects, that's where you're going to find offset. Under effects, under edit, you're going to find offset. All of this looks the same. Now that offset feature is working great. Hold on, let me see if I can move it over here so that you all can see it a little bit better. Let's move this one up here. Let's come back down and do this offset. So you see, we were having issues with offset, like taking forever with this slide bar, but y'all look how smooth that offset transition is. Love it. Round of applause for that one. Next is going to be, and this is both for the text and for this, you have sticker and your warp feature. Now, warp is a Cricut Access. We've talked about the warp feature before. It is a Cricut Access only tool. There are multiple ways you can warp your text for free in other softwares. We have tutorials on our channel. We're not really going to go into that, but that's where you're going to find that warp section is under the edit. And then, of course, all of your combined features, which can also be found over on the right-hand side under your layers panel, which is 9 times out of 10 where you're going to go to find them. So that is interesting. Now, and give me just a minute, I'm going to hide my face. So when I actually make it a little bit larger, I can see here that I do have my font size here and my width and height as well on my top kind of like toolbar. So I do like that. Now, what I was super curious about with this update was with the PNG, I'm going to come over here to edit. We have our offset and sticker. So this is a lot less involved because it is a PNG, but I guess I got to come down here to create AI. So this is in beta, but it said that it would, okay. So this is just straight up create, not anything else. We can add a reference image here. Interesting. Okay, we'll use these. This is our reference image. Create a Matisse style image like that I have included, but instead of florals, like for it to be fruit, like Matisse style fruit, including, y'all, I don't know if this is going to work, but we're going to try it. So we're just going to see what it does. See what Cricut AI is going to do for us. You know us, we've been playing around with some AI features on the Maker's Gonna Learn channel, some different chatbots, things like that. So I don't know. Let's see what Cricut gives us and what options it gives us after that. Okay, so it is literally nothing like what I thought, but that's okay. It's in its infancy. It's in its infancy. So let's take this out and let's just say create an image of a dinosaur wearing a backpack. I don't know. A full of a T-Rex dino wearing a blue backpack and a yellow hat, baseball cap. Once again, we're just playing around with it and we're going to see what it shows us. Okay. It's not full color, but I'm not really understanding why. Maybe we go back. It said that it gave, okay, timeout. Here it says create AI full color print and cut styles. Okay, so it said cut, but it's not giving print and cut option for me. Okay, well, maybe let's try this to print and cut. It's not down there, which is fine. No hate, no shade. It's just not there like they said it was going to be. This says it's in beta. Anyway, I digress. We're not going to spend a lot more time on that. But I think for the most part, one thing we do need to do, I need to check this Make It. So we are Bluetooth connected to our Maker 4. I'm going to go to Make It. We're not going to save this project. We're going to see how it does. On the mat, those are good. Without mat, we're just going to do on mat, confirm. These are print and cut. Got it. You would still change this. It looks like we're not having really connectivity issues. Now, I'm not going to go through this and I'm not going to actually cut something. So we will be testing this kind of throughout the next few weeks, making sure these changes are fixed. So y'all, it seemed like Design Space was not near as laggy as it had been. Once again, round of applause for that. Now, did this fix all of the bugs that we were seeing? If we're being honest, I can't tell you that right now. I still feel like we need to get in Design Space, play around with some things, make sure that those fixes are done properly because we were having so many issues. But I do think we are headed in the right direction with these changes, these updates, these fixes. It looks like just from me updating and going through some things, it did not feel like Design Space was near as glitchy as it has been before. If you want my honest opinion, I've not even been crafting as much here recently because Design Space has just been making me so mad that it's made me not want to craft. And y'all, if you have felt this way and this is you, please let us know in the comments. But I really, really think that as a company, Cricut has been listening to its users. I think that this is probably a good sign that they've not seen as much activity because it has been so frustrating for so many crafters. But I do think that they are headed in the right direction. First impressions of the new update. First of all, I did not see the full color create AI full color print and cut things. It could still be in its infancy. It could still have not just rolled out to me yet. I'm not saying that. I just would have liked to have seen that feature, but I didn't see it. But everything else that we touched on at the beginning of this video, once again, looked like it was fixed. The new layout. If you're like me and change is hard, it may be hard for you for a few minutes or for a few days even to get used to it. But I do think that the simplicity of Design Space now is going to be super helpful for even new users coming in. Just make sure that if you're looking for something, check that edit button out and make sure you look at everything under there. Don't just say, oh, I can't find it. I don't know where it is. But just check that edit button. More than likely, what you are looking for is going to be found there. That can be a double-edged sword. It cleans everything up so that people don't have as many options to choose from and they don't know what to choose. Or it could be like, I don't see it. Where is it at? I guess Design Space doesn't have it. So once again, just knowing where everything is located is going to be key to navigating this new look. I'm choosing to look at this from a positive perspective. I'm actually trying to look at my whole life from a positive perspective. So I'm seeing this as, listen, Cricut, listen to us as designers, as crafters, as users of its platform, and they are fixing the things that were stressing us out, causing us headache. And I'm going to choose to look at this as a positive thing, and I'm just going to get used to it, and it's going to be better than ever. Now, Please let me know if you've seen any issues and you feel like they've been fixed, not been fixed. We love to hear in the chat what your thoughts are, what your concerns are. Where do you think Cricut is going? I mean, we did see that DTF thing. I don't know, guys. I don't know. So let us know in the comments your thoughts, your opinions. We love to hear from you. And if you've made it this far and you haven't already, make sure you click that thumbs up button to subscribe to our channel and go ahead and hit that bell notification so that you can be notified every time we get crafty. Now, I hope you have learned a little bit more about Design Space, seen that maybe those fixes are a good thing and that updates aren't that bad. Once again, like this video and make sure you leave me a comment. Let me know your thoughts. We'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.